What is going on, guys and girls? How are you doing today? It's Single Roleplayer here once again. Today I want to talk a little about the Betrayal League in general and some thoughts on it and some things that I did in the Betrayal and some investments that I decided to do during the Betrayal League. When you see this video, I will probably be on the vacation, and this is like an afterthought on the Betrayal in general. So overall, I can say that I really enjoyed the Betrayal League, but mostly because not the Betrayal itself, but the amount of content we got with the Delve, Incursions, and Bestiary making a return. I didn't really enjoy Bestiary at all. I think it was pretty annoying. Incursion was the biggest shit league I've seen after Bestiary, so I didn't enjoy Incursion at all. But Delve I really enjoyed, and the only thing that I kind of disliked about the Betrayal is how few delves we got there. I only managed to get to delve like 200 plus, which is very low, I think, compared to what people did. But at the same time, it was much harder to delve at this point because the amount of sulfite we get in the Betrayal is really terrible. You get like one map once in a while, and you can get like from 1 to 3 different sulfite nodes there, and you barely get this amount of sulfite as we got in the Delve. So in Delve we got sulfite every map, every area, and in the Betrayal we barely got this amount, so it was very hard to delve. And Delve is probably one of the most enjoyable features in Path of Exile right now. At the same time, I accomplished not as much as I wanted to do, but at least I made one solid, big, strong build, cleared all Atlas here, and basically killed Uber Elder as well. So I stopped at about 152 progression on the Atlas, and I'm quite happy with this. The Uber Elder kill was pretty easy too on the second attempt. I just learned to fight a little, and it was pretty smooth. At the same time, I made some mediocre amount of currency. I don't really farm currency. I don't really specifically like aim at farming currency. I just get what I can, like sell, buy, and all that stuff. Get lucky, get unlucky. And I was super unlucky with 6 linking, and this thing is still there. I did, I think, 700 fusings or maybe 800 fusings there. It just completely didn't budge. It's still there, and the quality is 26, but it just refuses to 6 link at this point, so I gave up on this. I would also like to thank Honk, who gave me this chest, because he upgraded his one and just gave me his 6 link, and I defeated my Uber Elder with this chest, so I'm very thankful for that. As for the build itself, like I said, it's pretty solid now. I got pretty decent gear here. The boots are shit, but everything aside from that, it didn't really need a lot of expensive gear to defeat Uber Elder with the Spectre Summoner, so it was pretty okay-ish, I would say. As for investments, I did some, and this is probably the most expensive thing that I've got within the league, which is Winter Orb Max Stages Helm. I specifically wanted to buy this helm on Betrayal because they will be extremely expensive and standard, and this is like your only possible way how you can get it for cheap. This was 5 Exalt, and this is pretty decent, except for the fact that it is supported by remote mine, so it's pretty bad, but it doesn't matter. It has damage to spells and some decent amount of life. The only thing that's missing is minus cold rest, but I will be rerolling this too as well. Another couple of investments that I did is a couple of gloves for the Winter Orb, which is increased damage with hits against shield enemies. These are really nice pair of gloves. I got one on standard too, but these things are really nice. This is like a little investment that I did. One of the biggest investments is also this, which is Incandescent Heart. I synced 1,000 of fusings on my Incandescent Heart and standard, and it just still there. It just didn't 6 link, so I gave up entirely on this. I just decided I want to buy one when I can. It was very cheap. It was like 2 to 3 exalts, and it was a 6 link, so it says absolutely crazy stats on it, so it was an absolutely amazing deal. as well. I'm very happy with this one, and this will allow me to complete my Hand of Wisdom in Action Cyan build on standard as well. So this is one of the investments that I made. Another investment in this is Chevron's Wrappings. It's an absolutely top tier roll with just a little bit of down on the lightning resistance, but overall it's GG. I also managed to get Hillock level 3 on fortification and qualityed both chests into 28. So these are like GG chests for almost any kind of CI builds out there, like CI this and CI this. This is like life. This is like Hand of Wisdom CI, and this is everything else CI, just pure yes CI, or low life CI too. Another investment is this Watcher's Eye. This is for my Tectonic Slam Jagging Out. This was also very cheap. I think it was 2 to 3 Exiles, and these things are at least 6 to 10 Exiles in the Standard League. This is also incredibly powerful because this is a Hatred double Purity, and the biggest deal is Purity here, because if your Tectonic Slam Jag is really weak on the elemental weakness side, so getting thing like this is extremely good, and I just completely jumped onto this thing and bought it and do not regret this. This makes my build complete. Another thing is these gloves, which are cold damage over time multiplier with some energy shield, life, and resist. I bought this specifically to try Vortex, Cold Snap, or Arctic Breath, and unfortunately I just didn't have the time to create the build and try it. Because I went on the vacation and just didn't have time to create the build, but I decided I'm gonna buy these ES gloves and try it later. I think that was a really decent amount of investment. The big problem with the cold damage over time builds like Cold Snap and Vortex, so crafting these gloves is a bit problematical. You need some you need to annul everything except cold damage multiplier, so that you can later craft some elemental damage stuff and resistances on it. So it's extremely hard to get a decent pair of gloves. Another thing I would say is probably this. This was cheap actually. This is like 2 chaos. But Spine of the First Claimant is a really good mace for any cold-based build, both being it Winter Orb or, for example, Cold Snap or Vortex or Arctic Breath. This is like extremely sweet mace. If you dual wield this, it's really good. Substitute for any Vand or Scepter, which you can craft later on as well. Another thing that I bought is a couple of minion movement speed rings with life. This is pretty sweet. I also bought level 21 Winter Orb, which is like 1 Exiled, I believe. Everything else is pretty mediocre. I also bought this for cheap. This is level 84 boots with 2% regen. This was very cheap. I bought this as an investment to try different variation of the Spectre, because basically on the Spectre build you always get like 2-tone boots, but if you can get this is a really nice alternative if you get Spectre thing on here. Another thing that I have is this. Let me show you. These 2 pair of boots. This is level 86 and 87 pair of boots. And these are really strong boots. These are like crafting chance bases that I tried to craft some specters on there, and this is still an ongoing project like this. Another thing that I invested in this winter orbs. This may sound pretty stupid, but they are like 1 to 2 chaos, and when standard hits, they will be at least 30 to 40 C. So that's like several exalts right there. In this winter orbs. Winter orb is new and no one gives a damn about it on standard right now, but on Betrayal it's so every 10th player is playing winter orb. That's why they are incredibly cheap. They're like, Betrayal is overloaded with winter orbs, and it's a pretty solid investment if you play standard. But if you don't play standard, you probably don't give a shit about this. I also bought Cast While Channeling. It's, for unknown reason, is very expensive on standard. A lot of people play Cast While Channeling now. It's popular, but on Betrayal it's cheap, and on standard it's very, very expensive. Another thing that I bought is Arctic Breath, and this is one of the skill gems that's been reworked in 3.6 and 3.5, sorry. And I really hope to try this because this is an interesting skill gem. It's a bit of a mix between, you know, Ice Spear, Cold Snap, and Vortex. It hits, and it also does cold damage over time in a chilling area. It's pretty interesting. I wanted to mess around with it, and I'm still gonna mess around with it when I have the time, so I invested into this. And specifically 21 is extremely important for Arctic Breath. This increases the base cold damage by like 25%. This is very, very powerful. Everything else is mostly leveled myself, like Cooling Strike, Ray Spectre, and Fibble. Minion speed is still not there. So I also bought a couple of this. This is like minion damage rings, which are okay. It's a little investment that I did for the minion damage as well, because these rings are incredibly hard to get. So that's all about the investments, guys, and let me summarize and tell you that I did enjoy Syndicate, but farming Syndicate itself was very problematical because I don't like farming league content. It's pretty annoying, and I just guess I do not enjoy this as much as some people do. I farmed, you know, Harbor Bridge for a while, but I fucked up my second mastermind and I was pretty discouraged to do it again. So overall, I can say that Syndicate was a really good, solid lead, and it was fun while it lasted. But I really hope that the second one will be just as good and even better. So that's about it. See you soon, guys. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for watching the video. Your likes and dislikes, especially, as they push me forward even more. If you want to see more content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do daily uploads of role-playing content, being it builds, guides, let's play, stream highlights, and upcoming RPG games. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitch stream to catch me live in action. I do stream daily on working days. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator and a Twitch streamer too, so if you want to support me, you can do it either from Twitch or by PayPal directly from my website angryroleplayer.com. Join my Discord channel too for a place to discuss RPG things offline, as well as follow my Twitter to be notified on any new content. If you want to get extra information like sneak peeks into upcoming videos, plans, different behind-the-scenes footage, you can also join the Unholy Army on Patreon as well, guys. Thank you very much once again for watching, listening to all this. See you soon.